coming from a higher place. Hey guys, they're coming from a much higher place. Look at them, they're dressed in white. That's a higher energy straight away. So, are you coming from a higher place and bringing it into the human realm? Or are you thinking from a lower place, like shame and guilt and fear and anger? Wrapping up our trip to the Besaki Temple Complex here in Bali. And now I'd like to introduce you to the idea of the three worlds. There's the lower world, there's the middle world, and then there's the upper world. So the lower world, or the underworld, is your instincts and survival. That's the basics. The middle world is human life, all the things that we have in human life. And the upper world is that more spiritual awareness. This maps beautifully with coaching because it gives you a bit of a roadmap on how to move forward. So let's talk about the lower self. The lower self is about fear, it's about survival, it's about avoidance, right? This is all the stuff we come to coaching for, right? So we enter into coaching as a client or even a coach because we're in the lower realm, we're in the lower state. And then there's the current self, which is the middle world that the Balinese have. And the current self is the human world, which is about your responsibilities, the things you have to do day to day to survive. These are the things that you just know you have to do. Your family, things you have to do, you got to pick up the milk. These are the daily things in human life. And then, of course, there is the higher self, or the spiritual self, which is meaning, which is purpose, which is contribution. It's that higher spiritual kind of place. And this is the thing that I notice that Bali still taps into. You can see all the people going up to pray who are dressed in white, who are passing me right now. And they're going up to the top of the mountains, into the temples, these guys in white, to pray. And that is because they've got this deeper meaning. They've got this spiritual purpose. And it's like a practice that they have that we're missing in modern society. There's meaning behind it. And they've got stories, they've got parables, they've got ways that they interact with those parables. And so it influences the rest of life. And so here's the question. You've got your lower, you've got your middle, and you've got your upper self, or upper parts of life. A lot of people come into coaching because they're driven by the lower self. So that's the question for you. Which part, high, low, or middle, is driving your life? When you connect with a higher meaning, something more important, there's actually values trapped inside of you that if you understand them, you can understand yourself. And as you understand yourself, you'll understand then how to navigate the world from a more meaningful place, the higher self. So like the Balinese with their rituals, we need to learn how to create a ritual for ourselves to tap back in to that higher self, to tap back in to influences, get us out of the lower state and into the middle state, operating from a higher place. Understanding that our daily actions in the human life actually impact us, are impacted by our thought process. Is it coming from the lower, entering into the current? Or is it coming from the higher, coming into the current? You want to get rid of, or eliminate the lower self-thinking and bring in the higher self-thinking. So here's an example below of people coming up the mountain to pray. So are you living that higher self? You can see these guys here. Hey guys, pagi, sorry. Siang. My Balinese Indonesian not too good. Hello, apa kabar? They're going up the mountain to pray. So finding that deeper meaning, coming from a higher place. Hey guys, they're coming from a much higher place. Look at them, they're dressed in white. That's a higher energy straight away. So are you coming from a higher place and bringing it into the human realm? Or are you thinking from a lower place, like shame and guilt and fear and anger? You want to come from a higher place, of course. Kind of makes sense. Your results are going to be better. So that's my little video on the lower side, the middle side, and the upper side of life. we can bring our mind from the higher place and influence the middle ground, which is the ground we live in day to day. This is Mount Tait, the Saki Temple Complex, walking all the way back down to the bottom, and I'll see you in the next video. If you like this video, like and subscribe to the channel. I'd love to hear your comments. I'd love to hear if you've been to Bali. I'd love to hear if you have been thinking from the lower place or you're thinking from a higher place. What's an example of where you've thought from a higher place and influenced the middle ground, the actual lived experience? It's an interesting thought. Balinese have a lot to teach us.